Hello, my name is Alison Awuku, and this is my statistics project on the risk factors of depression. What is depression? According to WHO, depression is a common mental disorder characterized by persistent sadness and lack of interest in previously enjoyable activities. Why depression, one may ask? According to recent study, about 5% of adults suffer depression, which has increased the disability rates worldwide. My research topic, the risk factors of depression, seeks to highlight, out of the many factors, the ones that predominantly cause depression. Some literary texts I employed gave me insights in my study. According to my literature review, low self-esteem depends on the loneliness or worries of a person. It was concluded that persistent loneliness causes long-term depression, lowering self-esteem and causing high anxiety or nervousness. Also, individuals going through depression find it difficult to engage fully in schoolwork, making it challenging to attain higher academic degrees. Lastly, a decrease in smoking reduces depressive behavior. Based on my literature reviews, I came up with three different associations that could help in my study. 1. Is feeling depressed associated with the level of anxiety, nervousness, or worry in adults? 2. Is the number of cigarettes per day associated with how often you feel depressed? 3. Is your educational attainment associated with how often you feel depressed? Given these associations, I was introduced to the IPUMS Health dataset, where I could undertake further research. The IPUMS Health captures the health status for different people in different countries. For my research, I used young adults between the ages of 16 to 40 years. The sample data was taken in the year 2019, which limited my sample size to about 41,190 people. The sampling method used was the multi-stage sampling method, where a proportion of the total population is used to develop the sample. Interviews were conducted in a hybrid manner, where online forms and physical interactions were made to get accurate responses. After getting the necessary data, there was a need to test my existing associations to see if there was a relationship between them. Various methods like developing a univariate and bivariate graph was used to make clear the associations. The chi-square test of independence was used for all the associations since both the explanatory and response variables for all associations were categorical. For each of the associations, the null hypothesis and the alternative hypothesis as seen were to be tested. After conducting the chi-square test of independence using the R and R Studio software, these were the results. In the first association, the x-squared value was 1051, the degrees of freedom was 16, and the p-value was 2.2 raised to the power negative 16, which is approximately 0. In the second association, the x-squared value was 695.02. The degrees of freedom was 12, and the p-value was 2.2 raised to the power negative 16, also approximately 0. In the third association, the x-squared value was 22,026, the degrees of freedom was 16, and the p-value was 2.2 raised to the power negative 16, which is also approximately 0. Now comparing the p-value to the significance value of 0.05, it tells us that there is enough evidence to reject the null hypothesis, hence going with the claim of the alternate hypothesis. Although the p-value concluded that there is a relationship between the various associations, let's take a look at these graphs. The graph on the top left corner compares the anxiety levels to the depression levels of young adults. It can be seen that the times that an adult never faces depression, he is never anxious, which proves the relationship between them. The graph on the top right corner compares the number of cigarettes to how often a young adult gets depressed. With this, it can be seen that even though the analysis was centered around mild smokers and non-smokers based on the respondents' information, On most times, when a person is not depressed, it is because he is a non-smoker. Lastly, the graph on the bottom left corner compares a person's educational attainments to how often he gets depressed. It can be seen that, for times where the young adult never faces depression, he is able to attain more and higher educational degrees. Hence, the lack of attaining higher educational degrees is evidently due to depression, according to my study. This research work right from the beginning, with the help of statistical methods, has given me insight to specific factors that cause depression. As young adults going through depression, it is important to know the continuous risk factors that predominantly cause depression in order to take necessary control methods. These are my references. Thank you.